Allison Ravenhall and Nika Khodjasteh, delivering digital accessibility training at scale. AliCamp. Gold sponsors ANZ, Intopia and Telstra. Silver sponsors Canva and Coles. Supporters Rumour, the design recruiter.
Thanks, Sarah, and hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Nika, and this is Allison, and we are from CommBank, and we're here to talk to you about delivering accessibility training at scale. Now, I have to apologise in advance. I do have a bit of an actual frog in my throat, so I've opted for a handheld mic just in case I need to cough. I don't want to blow anyone's head off with the audio. All right, so today we are going to be talking about a need for training, why we needed it, and how we went about it. We're going to talk about how we defined the training, how we got buy-in from our senior and executive leadership team, how we actually made the training, how we rolled it out, tracked it, and then at the end, what we've learned in case you ever decide to do something similar in your organisation or business. Got to press it hard. All right, so a need for training. So as most of you would know, CommBank, or the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, is a very large organisation. We have approximately 40,000 staff across Australia, and about 4,000 of those are engineers with about 200 plus designers. Now, everyone has really good attitudes, everybody has the right intent, they want to make things accessible, but there are knowledge gaps. In any organisation, you're going to have varying levels of knowledge and capability. And at that point that we decided to do training, we had some teams that we were working with which were really great with integrating accessibility into the process, but there were some where it wasn't fully integrated. And they were coming to us potentially at the final hour, asking us to test things, asking us the questions, how do I make this design accessible? How do I make this code accessible? When realistically, they could have been considering these things much earlier on in the process. And they often were like a little bit too dependent on our very small but mighty accessibility team. So there's only 7 of us in CommBank, and we support a lot of different delivery teams. So we wanted to bridge that gap and basically, upskill everyone so they could do the things themselves. So we had the skills to create the training internally. So have a really skillful internal team, very, very lucky to say. But unfortunately, we didn't have the time to deliver it. And as you can see, that's actually Allison on screen sweating, because I remember a distinct conversation that I had with her. And I sat her down and I said, well, she told me as well, we really need training. And I said, can you build it? Can you make it internally? Can we roll it out? And she said, I would absolutely love to, but with the amount of work that I've got going on in delivery, I can't make it happen right now. And the external training at the time didn't actually cater for our needs in mobile accessibility. So as most of you know, the CommBank app is I'm assuming you know, the CommBank app is a huge feature of our bank and our digital bank. So we have a lot of app features that are coming out all of the time. It's a big part of our delivery and a big part of our products. And the external training that we were looking at didn't actually cater for our needs in mobile accessibility. So there was a bit of a gap there. But I had the specialists internally who had the skills. So then I had this idea. And I was like, okay, well, we know that externally, Intopia has a great great courses on Intopia Learn. They are focused on web, and I really loved the way they were laid out. There was a mix of activities, a mix of videos, quizzes, learnings. So why don't we use them for the web component? But then I was thinking, what about the other side in the mobile? So that's where we partnered together to co-create a new training course in mobile accessibility as well. So we plan to choose collaboration over compromise. So bringing the mobile specialist skills that we had with Intopia Learn platform to co-create something special. But before we started, we had to define it. So what was it that we actually wanted and needed for our organisation? Well, we needed it to be online. We wanted it to be delivered through our learning platform, which didn't require any room bookings, no one-on-one sessions, no participant, jotting down the names and things like that. We also needed it to be scalable, so built to support thousands of people across the organisation. And we wanted to deliver it without constant face-to-face sessions, which would put more pressure on our already busy accessibility team. We needed it to be role-based. So like I said, we've got engineers and testers in the business, and we also have a lot of designers. So we needed it to be specific to their skills. And we wanted it to be self-paced, so people could do it at their own pace and complete it within their busy time frame as well in terms of like what they had to deliver. We also wanted it to be chunked modules, so think short, sharp, 10 to 15 minute modules that we could lift and shift into other parts of the courses. We needed it to be easy to maintain because we're rolling it out to thousands of people, right? So if we make one change in our learning management system, that it would, cascade down to the other modules. And we needed it to be available to everyone. So whether they were, been with CommBank for a number of years or whether they were new starters, graduates, anyone, we wanted them to be able to access this content. We didn't want them have to sign up to something and pay for training. We just wanted it to be available to everybody. So the next thing we had to do is get buy-in. So fabulous idea, we've defined it, but how do we actually get executive leadership to understand the benefits of the training? Well, the main thing is to basically explain the wins. So the first one was that, okay, obviously through this training program, we're going to uplift staff knowledge. So that's win number one. That will then result in less inaccessible features going out to customers. That's win number two, and that's the type of language that the executive leadership team like to hear. And lastly, that'll result in a better and more accessible experience on CommBank's digital channels, which means increased NPS, which is also the language that they want to hear. So that's 3 wins. So now I'll hand over to Allison to talk about how we actually made and delivered the training.
Thanks, Nika. Yes, hello everyone. It's lovely to be back on the AlleyCamp stage. And I'm going to talk about myself in the third person for a second. This is the creative team that delivered the CommBank training program. This is me on my left, your right, holding up a phone because I delivered all of the mobile-related content. I created content related to Jetpack Compose for Android and SwiftUI for iOS. We drilled down to very specific code there. Russ and Tess can't join us today. I was hoping they'd be in the room because they didn't know they were going to be up on the screen. Russ has never looked so good. Russ delivered all of the web content, and he's holding a microphone because he lent his dulcet tones to all of the instructional videos and all of the guide videos that occurred all throughout the training. Tess was the island of calm in the middle of the tsunami of content coming from all sides, and clipped and edited and constructed all of those modules. If you're familiar with learning platforms, you might know SCORM packages, and all of those modules were created by Tess. Here's the numbers, the big numbers, what we delivered. 99 individual modules of training, which we then chunked into 7 courses, targeting 3 digital platforms and targeting 3 distinct job roles. So what does that mean? 99 individual modules. So as Nika explained, we wanted things to be very quick, simple, easy, targeted. We recognize that all of the people doing this training have day jobs. They are designers, they are engineers, they are testers. Their main focus is that work. So we needed little modules on one topic that they could pick up and whip through in 5 to 15 minutes, tick it off, and they're done. So the example I've got on the screen is from our web design course, and it's just about colour. So we're just thinking about colour contrast on text, colour contrast on elements, using colour in a colourblind friendly way, and that's it, colour, done, job's done. After that, we pick up those 99 modules and group them into courses which make sense to a particular person based on who they are and what they do and where they do it. So we've got things like accessible web design, accessible Android development, web accessibility testing, web app accessibility testing. You pick your flavor and you will get content related to you. That's the aim. These courses contain anywhere from 10 to 20 of those individual modules. So they represent maybe 10 to 15 hours overall of commitment by the time someone has gone all the way through. So those modules, they contain written content, video content, some worked activities, there'll be little code. I wrote an app. I wrote 2 apps. Oh my God, I wrote an iOS app and an Android app as supporting content. They're listed on GitHub so that the engineers can go and fiddle. Here's a broken one, fix it. Here's the fixed one, compare. So it's real worked, you know, devs love that stuff. They don't want to read all day. We have multiple digital platforms at CommBank. Like I said, our app is built in SwiftUI and Jetpack Compose. So I took the training to where the people are working. I talk to them in their language. So where I'm giving code examples, it's specific to Android, or it's specific to Apple, or it's specific to a web page. Because they all have different capabilities, they're all done a different way. So to be relevant, and I needed to be specific. And we're targeting the job roles. At the moment, the courses that we've rolled out so far are targeted to our designers, our engineers, and our testers. These we consider to be the core roles in terms of delivering accessibility. We know that other roles are also involved. We'd like to get our researchers to have training. We'd like to have our content people to have training. Those will come in another tranche, but we had to draw the line somewhere. But these guys got the first cut. So we built the thing. Now to make the rubber hit the road and get people doing it. We're very fortunate at CommBank to have a change management group. I didn't know what change management was. But they're these people who are like, oh, if you're going to roll something out or do something in a large-scale organization, we'll manage and help you make that happen. I was like, wow. So Katie in the change management team, she helped Nika and I formulate a plan to get this training out and advertised and being done by people. The best win that we had was that we had a chat with the head of design who, you know, has like 200 odd designers laddering up to him. And he agreed to mandate accessibility training for all of those designers. It was in their annual performance review KPIs, in that with, you know, the outcome, if you underperform in your KPIs, it hits your bonus. So as far as the do the right thing and, you know, be good to all people stuff goes, that's great. But hit them in the hip pocket. That really speaks. Oh my God. The take up in design was massive. It's by far the highest department of completions, like just off the charts. In engineering was a different kettle of fish because engineering is very much more distributed. There isn't that one head person that we could hit and go, oi, get everyone to do it. There's also the fact that engineers, developers, whatever you want to call them, they perform a variety of roles. Not all of them are front end. They've got these unicorny full stack guys, and, but then there's also people who just do APIs, back end databases, less involved, probably less. So we've had it added to engineer onboarding and our tech graduate programs. We hire over 100 tech graduates every year. They've got a program of onboarding that they go through in terms of learning and training and upskilling, because uni doesn't teach them everything. And they see this training. I went and crashed all of the engineer guilds. I went into the web engineer guild and go, hi guys, got some training for you. Put it on your career development plan, it'll look ace. Nika went and presented to the executive leaders. See, I go down, she goes up. I went to the dev, she went up to management, she talked to the executive leaders and asked them to cascade down to the teams. This is a thing, it's been rolled out, go and do it. And we had a flood of emails going out to engineers, their team leads, their crew leads, and their managers, all talking about accessibility training and how it's good and how it's going to be great for you guys and how you're going to be depending on our team less and you're going to get ahead of me and I'm not going to be able to ping you for quite so many things and how satisfying will that be? It'll be great. So after the rollout, it was time to track things. We wanted to see how are people going with this? How many people are doing it? And so far, we've got 340 recorded course completions. The actual number is higher because this number fluctuates as staff churn. So as staff leave, the number drops. So this is the live number right now. We also have 120 people in progress. Given that we're asking people to do 10 to 15 hours of training content on top of their day job, I'm really happy with these numbers so far. Also, I realise people love recognition. They love a certificate. I generate these certificates monthly and send them out to the people who've just finished the training over the past calendar month. And the number of emails I get back with, oh my God, thank you so much, that's so sweet. I really enjoyed the course, it was great, I'm applying this stuff, thank you so much, etc. Oh, love it. So yeah, like if you want to motivate people, just a certificate. I've seen a few of these on LinkedIn where people are celebrating it and, you know, people who have been leaving have asked for a certificate to put it in their CV. So they're seeing it as like a value. All right, I'm running out of time. We also, at the end of all of our training courses, have attached a feedback survey because I really want to know that we're hitting the target and we're delivering relevant content, it works, it's, you know, they're using it. And I thought I'd share some highlights, and I am stoked. 94% of respondents have said that their course, their accessibility training course, was mostly or totally relevant to their day job. We are talking to people about things that matter and things that they do. So training, targeted, tick. 90% of respondents said that their course made them feel very or extremely confident to apply accessibility in their work. So skills, uplift, information, principles, understood, tick. I love a verbatim, I love a quote, so I've got a couple. Of course, just like, whoo, pick the highlights, of course. One of the most important and needed courses created to date. This one from an engineer, a really helpful course, nicely curated, covering all possible scenarios which we go through in day-to-day development. I used to be an engineer in ancient times, but it's been a few years. To hear something like that from a now developer saying I'm still hitting the mark, And for those who know Russ, please pass this on. Russ's voice is so soothing. Russ's voice is also in the videos in the same training in Intopia Learn. This is not locked up in CommBank. You too can also partake in Russ's voice. So that's what we built. I'm really super proud of it. In case you couldn't tell, I'm going to kick us back to Nika to wrap us up.
Thanks, Allison. And I would definitely agree with Russ's soothing voice. I wish he was here to hear us say that. Hopefully he's online. All right, what we've learned. Well, we learned a lot through this training program. It actually went a lot smoother than we anticipated, I think, between us and Intopia rolling it out. But we learned to enable at the top. So getting that executive and senior leadership buy-in is super, super important. Why? Because they have the funds to make it happen, but also because you can get that bottom-up and top-down approach going. So if you have someone like me who can work from the top-down and Allison who can work from the bottom-up, that really, really helps with enabling a program of this scale. The next thing we learned is to bring the right help. So us partnering with Intopia was really, really critical to this program's success. Like I said, we had the right skills internally. We wanted to do this for like 2 years, but we just didn't have the time. So identifying when you can kind of partner together and collaborate is really key, and it was key to this program's success. Also to make learning practical. So as you saw in the feedback examples, people really enjoyed the training. Why? Because we weren't just kind of like talking at them for 15 hours. There was a combination of quizzes and interactive content, videos, things to read to ensure that people were sustaining and retaining the knowledge that we were providing them through the courses. And to tie on some of the comments today around champions programs, we really, what we learned is that we needed a way to embed and sustain the training. So it wasn't just a tick and flick, here's the training, on your horse, get to it. We've rolled out a digital accessibility champions program in which the training is actually bundled and a part of. So that helps people to basically, embed the training in their day-to-day delivery, in their jobs, in their work, have an opportunity and a forum to ask people in the community and in our specialist team questions about the things that they've learned and how they're actually applying them into their work. And that's it. Thank you so much for having us today. We hope you enjoyed.
AlleyCamp, celebrating 10 years.